2. Here it is! The Washington Nationals are world champions for the first time in franchise history.
Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing our 2020 MLB predictions, and this will include our standings for each division, the wildcard teams in each league, the MVP in each league, the Cy Young in each league, and our World Series predictions for 2020. And this will all be talked about today in this video. So let's get right into it. First division, the AL East. Number 1, I have the Yankees. I think they're currently one of the best teams in baseball, and with all the great players they have, they're looking really good this year. Number 2, I have the Rays, who I have just missing a wild card spot this season, who will be not that close, but second place. They'll probably be above 500 this year, but not by too much. Number 3 in the AL East, I have the Red Sox, who will probably be right around 500 after losing both Mookie Betts and David Price into the trade to the Dodgers. Number 4, I have the Blue Jays, who are still kind of in the rebuild mode. And number 5, I have the Orioles, who are still in just a full rebuild mode and currently are trying to get some good young players in their farm system. In the AL Central, first I have the Twins, who are probably going to win close to 100 games again this year, probably around 95. And second place, one of the more surprising teams this year, I got the White Sox, and I've got them getting the second wild card spot in the American League this season. And number 3, I have the Indians, who will be just a little bit over 500, but not too good this year. And then I have the Tigers at number 4, who are pretty bad, probably another 100-loss season for them. And then I have the Royals at number 5, who are surprisingly even worse. Now for the AL West, number 1, I have the Oakland Athletics, who will probably win about 95 games this season, as they're a really good team. Number 2 in that division, I have the Houston Astros, who I think will be the number 1 wild card in the American League this season. Number 3 in that division, I have the Angels, who are another pretty good team. They'll probably win about 85 to 90 games this year. Number 4 in the AL West, I have the Mariners, and number 5, I have the Texas Rangers. That's it for the AL, so here are my NL East standing predictions. Number 1 in the NL East, I have the Nationals, who are coming off the World Series championship, and they should have another pretty good year. I mean, they've lost a couple of star players, but not enough to keep them out of contention this year. Number 2, I have the Braves, who I think will get the first wild card spot in the NL this year, and they'll probably win about 90 to 95 games themselves this year. Number 3, I have the Phillies, who won't be too far behind the Braves, but I don't think they'll be good enough to get a wild card spot this year. Number 4, I have the Mets, who are just above 500, shouldn't be doing too much damage in 2020. And number 5, I have the Marlins, who are, along with the Orioles and Royals and Tigers, just one of the worst teams in the MLB right now. In the NL Central, first I have the Brewers, and I think they'll win about 90 to 95 games, somewhere in between those two numbers. And number 2, I have the Cardinals, who will probably be pretty close to them, and I have them at the second wild card spot in the NL this year. Number 3, I have the Reds, who are, along with the White Sox, one of the up-and-coming teams in the MLB right now, and they should be doing pretty good next year. And number 4, I have the Cubs, who they could end up winning this division, and they could end up losing 85 games. Just don't really know right now with them. but I've got them at number 4 right now. And in 5th place in the NL Central, I have the Pirates, who are one of the teams in the MLB right now in the major rebuilding phase. Now for the NL West division. Number 1, I have the Dodgers, who are one of the top teams in the MLB again this season, and I wouldn't be surprised if they make another World Series return, which may end up happening this season for them. And number 2, I have the Diamondbacks, who will probably be right around 500 this season. Number 3, I have the Giants, who will be pretty close to the Diamondbacks, not far behind. Number 4, I have the Rockies, who will be right around those two other teams. And in 5th place, I have the Padres, who will probably make this division pretty bunched up from 2 to 5, but the Dodgers will be way ahead of all these other teams this season. So those are my 2020 MLB standings predictions. So now I'm going to do my Cy Young and MVP predictions. So first, with the MVP predictions, I think that the 2020 AL MVP will be Mike Trout, and he's just been the best player in the MLB the last few seasons, and he's been so consistent, and there's no reason to doubt him to keep his consistency up this season. And my 2020 NL MVP prediction is Christian Yelich, who has just been on fire, especially since he's been traded to Milwaukee these last couple of seasons, and you can compare him with Mike Trout right now. He's so good, and he's playing really good, and I wouldn't be surprised if he wins MVP this year. He's my 2020 NL MVP prediction. Now for the Cy Young predictions. The 2020 AL Cy Young prediction for me is Zach Greinke of the Houston Astros, and my 2020 NL Cy Young prediction is Stephen Strasburg of the Washington Nationals, who was absolutely clutch last season in the playoffs and was one of the main reasons that they ended up winning the World Series last season. And my playoffs predictions, I think that the Yankees will end up winning the American League, and the Dodgers will end up winning the National League. And between those teams, I think the Dodgers will take it over the Yankees in the World Series. Now that they have Mookie Betts, and they've got David Price, along with their other really good pitchers to go with Clayton Kershaw, Walker Buehler. I think that the Dodgers will win the World Series this year, and that's going to be my 2020 MLB predictions. So thanks for watching, guys, and make sure to subscribe, like the video, put on post notifications, and that's going to be it. Thanks. See you guys.